Probably slurp soon though, next time we see something.
Roger that. All right, Renee, I'm ready for you.
Copy 205. Bridge nav. (100 meters) 205. And we're just keeping an eye on that increasing wind there. Thank you.
What's the speed up to now?
It's 26 knots.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the current's pretty high too. I'm gonna go get the door.
Yeah, I think the door's not closed.
Yeah.
Is the forecast for it to continue to increase or?
Forecast was it for it to not be this high.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we might want to think about doing the deployments.
Roger that. Just let us know when and where.
What's the wind speed that we need to consider for pulling up?
Usually 25.
25. Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of our towards the threshold. So we're just keeping an eye on it.
All right. We'll
we start to sustain.
We'll have a look around for somewhere to put these deployments out.
Yeah.
Sure thing.
Lisa, are you there in the lab?
It's also one of those things if it comes.
I am.
The wind's picked up, and we think we might put the deployments out sooner rather than later. Are you okay with that? Oxygen's down below 7.5. And we're at 880 meters.
If you've got the opportunity, just go ahead and put them out.
Yeah, I think we'll put them out.
Roger that.
So
we just want a bit of a flat area to put them all out on, so can't see anything right now.
Copy. We're still moving the ship, so whenever you see it, call it out.
Okay.
As we're searching, Greg, I think we have a question from Crispin Little that you might be able to answer. White beads on a string on the rocks are encrusting bryozoans, question mark?
Yeah, well spotted, Crispin. I was looking at those and wondering, I thought they might be a hydroid. We didn't get a zoom in enough to really check, but if we get a chance to look at the next rocks, I'll make sure we can try and get an ID. But first, now we're going to try and find a place to put out these deployments. That's a different kind of sponge there, Paul. The white one?
Yeah.
Quite different.
Could we put down, this looks like a reasonable place, actually.
Got a nice white sponge marker.
Do you guys want to zoom on the sponge?
Yes, please.
Good, Jonathan.
And if you're thinking about holding, just let me know.
Let's hold here.
Roger.
Come a little wide and we'll frame it.
It's another glass sponge, but I don't think we've had this one.
Yeah, it's almost the second one below.
Let's hold position.
Yeah, I'd love to get a sample of that.
Okay. And maybe we can put out the deployments here as well.
Roger that.
We might need to put out a deployment first.
Full wide there, please.
How flat is that? I can't quite get a sense. When you sit down, are we going to have room?
It's a little ledge, but it's there's not.
There's a ledge where you can sit.
Yeah,
there's that sandy area in among the rocks. We could put them kind of in there. That would be okay. Or
let's see. Yeah, we can back up a little bit and take a look.
There'll probably be a little bit of swing, but we'll still be in the box.
Roger that. It looks like that's a downward facing ledge there though, so
Yeah,
you probably
that's
lose
not
your,
good.
yeah.
Well, maybe we'll get the sponge and then maybe move to another place.
Roger that.
Thank you.
Sponge going to the same spot?
It can go in, it could go forward. We also have a space in front of the starboard firebox, in front of the inserts.
I think there might be something in there, Greg.
Oh,
There-
really?
I don't think that's been deployed yet. I don't know how much space
Oh,
that
we've
would be.
got, we have a deployment in there?
That's what my notes
Oh, it's
show.
got a marker.
Yeah.
I see, there's a marker.
So I think we've got maybe that in-between space.
I'm okay with the in-between space.
We're
if
just
need
still in
be.
that entire space.
Yeah, this is probably going to be pretty floaty, Paul.
All right, Rennie, go ahead.
Yeah.
We'll see how it looks when Jessica grabs it.
So for the toolbox there, we can also, if there's 2 markers in there, we can move on the markers to the other toolbox and then make space that way. Or we can just take a sample of this and put it in the starboard bio like we
Yeah, I think we'll put it in the starboard because we want rock space for the toolbox.
Roger that. All right, Jonathan, go ahead and zoom on in there, please.
Is it
You know, show me the arm
N-
there. And I'll get it
NA?
out. Thank you.
So if possible, Jessica, if you
Full
could,
wide. Sure thing, sorry.
just looking for a marker. I don't know if you could sort of cut it right at that V to get this whole section would be fantastic.
Sure, okay. Go ahead and push on there a bit, please.
Anyone's listening that can't see well, some of the things we can see on the screen.
little
We
wide.
have little arrows and markers we can point to things for the subpilot to see that I don't think show up on the screen when you're viewing off the ship.
Somewhere around here?
Perfect.
Great. Oh, it's very brittle. I don't know if we're going to get that all intact there. I need to get a better grip.
Oh, one of those shrimps coming into view.
Very photogenic shrimps, aren't they?
Yeah.
Beautiful swimmers.
Perfect.
Oh, very nice grab with a sponge.
Untied
All
in
right,
there.
full wide there, please. Thanks, Jake. Go ahead, Jake.
Just confirming this is going to be sample NA124-046.
And it's going in that aft gap.
Exactly,
'Kay.
yeah. That aft gap on the starboard bio box we've called B. Hopefully it'll sink on in there.
Hopefully. It doesn't break off too many bits of it. Seems pretty friable. We got a big chunk though, so
Yeah.
see how it goes.
I think it's different from the other things we put in there. So even if it breaks a little bit.
Roger that.
It sinks.
Yeah, hopefully it's looking good.
Okay, we got a few bits in there.
Ooh, floaty
Yeah.
float.
Floaty. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
good
why the
chunk went in.
suction's good. This is why the suction's good.
Oh, but there's still that big chunk that's going in.
Yeah.
And it goes.
There you go.
Awesome.
Wow.
Fantastic.
Nice. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
Definitely a floaty bit in there now.
Yeah.
Gonna make taking those boxes out a challenge.
Nice Jake.
Towers? Yeah, I was calling those kind of
Okay, that was great.
spirals, towers going up with the sponge.
Let's try and find a flattish area of rock to put out the
Roger
deployments, please.
Looks like we're all in steeper areas, so yeah, we'll just
Yeah, find a
keep
ledge
our
or
eyes out.
something. Do you want to just pan a bit up, or sorry, scan a bit up and down while we're in this position before we start moving?
Sure thing. I'll run them. So we didn't see anything.
Yeah.
So we're on the San Juan Seamount, the western flank, an ancient volcano off the California coast, which is about 40 kilometers long, once was an island, and we're at 870 meters depth, ascending, and the oxygen's pretty low now. We're looking for a place to put out some deployments of bone and wood and rock.
Yeah, looking
And
pretty
we hope to
steep.
be visiting here again next year when we'll pick those up and see what colonized them.
And pretty steep
In
and
the
rubbly.
meantime, we've been sampling various kinds of sponges and corals, as well as picking up rocks to look at the various creatures that colonize these surfaces. This is a lava field on the flank of the volcano with a lot of basalt, but it's become encrusted with a ferromanganese crust, which have been proposed as a future possible mining resource.
Yeah, we're starting to fall off there, so just keep that in mind.
Yeah, we can keep on heading. I don't see anything that's very flat here.
Roger. Just letting you know about the ship.
Oh, sorry. I mean, the ship's starting to fall off, Raj.
Its current has increased to 2 knots.
Raj.
I don't think, I think we're gonna have to make a call about it soon.
Roger that.
There he is, poking through.
See another one of those shrimps on the rocks down there. Seeing a bunch of those.
We're trying to deploy the second set.
No, all good. I heard it all. Thank you, though. I was just looking around while we're still here, but
Yeah,
still not
nothing,
seeing
huh?
nothing.
Yeah.
Negative.
Science, if you like, we can try to move upslope rather than along it.
Yeah, let's just try and find as soon as we find a flat area of rock,
Okay,
we'll put them out.
roger that. We're going to go up at 140.
140, Raj.
Roughly the way you're facing. Bridge nav. 50 meters, 140.
Just as we're going over lots of these shrimps, I just want to go back a little bit in our chat. Paul had brought up the question of if it'd even be possible to slurp up one of these shrimps, possibly they might be a new species. And Mary Wixton replied back, giving us a little bit of context where it'd be really difficult to catch one. These shrimp are known in studies that they have electrical synapses in their abdomen, which means that instead of having the usual chemical junctions between nerves as we have, these guys are far faster, even though they can't keep that up for long, but they'd be zipping way out of reach of the slurp, much faster than we could catch them. So it's really fantastic. We're able to get some really good pictures of them. We've been going over many of them. That might be a little difficult to sample one.
Yeah, we've seen that in practice.
Tried to catch one before?
Yeah, either purposefully or they've been in on a sample that we were trying to get, and they are quick.
Need to put out a trap.
Yeah.
Lure them with good food like that crab that might be still taking a ride on the front porch.
Well, the spot prawn fishery is done with traps. California, off San Diego.
What's their favorite type of food? What do they use in the traps?
I don't know what they bait the traps with.
There's definitely been a good amount of those shrimps.
I'm going to ride a little higher, Science, and we can just see, get a better view of what's going on.
Oh,
yeah.
That rock is covered in Acanthogorgia.
Yeah, look at that.
Very cool.
They found a
gorgeous.
prominent ridge, haven't they?
I guess we can do a snap zoom on that, I suppose.
Yeah, quick picture would be good. So.
Yeah, go ahead, Jonathan, and just get it all on.
Okay, sorry about that.
That's great.
Very cool.
There's a lovely filter feeding sea cucumber, a solid there, amongst all of those Acanthogorgia corals.
Is that an anemone to the right, Greg? The purpley.
In the rock? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Inatroph lasers.
The sea anemone. Unfortunately, we don't have time to really stop here. We've heard the wind is blowing up, so we're trying to get to a flat place to put our deployments out.
Full wide, please.
Anticipating we might be told to abort the dive.
Thank you.
Hopefully we can put them out and continue to do some more sampling.
Steve's just letting us know that so far what we've been seeing are all Acanthogorgia.
Yeah, thanks, Crispin, for telling us about the baits used for spot prawns. So now we know. Next time, Greg, we should bring some herring, salmon, sardines, or mackerel and put in one of your one of your minnow traps. See if we can catch one of these shrimp.
Maybe we'll try that next year when we come back.
At 150 miles offshore, they may be safe from any commercial fishery too, and at this depth, so.
Seems to be very still and peaceful in the deep sea.
Feels like it's getting less still and peaceful up here, judging by how much my chair is starting to rock.
Back and forth. Ah, yes. Thought I saw that on the right hand side of the screen. So Steve just chimed in that we just passed a corallid, a precious coral. It looked pretty beaten up, but it was pink with white colonies. There might be some more that we might stumble upon.
Do you think maybe that green spot there will have potentially flatter terrain?
That's a thought, but I don't know how much flatter. We'll have to see how well it's resolved.
Yeah,
But yeah.
roger.
Bridge nav.
So did you see Lisa's comment? I think you knew that already.
Yeah.
But okay.
Continue 50 meters, bearing 140. Thank you.
Yeah, there go our circular depressions again. Is it biotic?
Yeah. What is that?
So we're still heading up slope. We're at 850 meters now. The oxygen levels plateaued out at about 5 micromolar per
fish.
liter, which is pretty low. It might well go down a little bit more in the next 100 meters or so. We're just trying to find a flat area of rock to put out about several pieces of wood, 2 rocks, and a minnow trap that's got some bones in it. And hopefully we'll still get some time to do some more sampling.
So Steve's saying that he's also seeing some small white pinkish single stalk bubblegum corals, the Paragorgia, but they're really small, around 10 centimeters maximum. So we should keep our eye out if we pass over any of those.
One 160, Raj.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to aim for.
Is this
one
flattening out now? Or is it still pretty much a slope?
It's still a pretty good slope right now.
Yeah.
160 there, Jake.
We're gonna aim for on the way to Q. There is a possibly imaginary patch of slightly less slope. But
It's a huge sponge ball.
oh, yeah, look at that.
We just need one spot that says park here, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. It could be that I see in Argus's sonar there. That's kind of where I'm trying to go.
Dead ahead, yeah.
To the rightish, but that matches here.
It's a different kind of sponge.
Let's see,
Roger that.
Kind of the branching one?
Yeah, that's a branching
Whoa.
sponge.
Wow.
Sorry,
Let's
guys.
keep our eye out for more of those.
Getting more interesting. Yeah, there's another one.
tuck it back in this rock array
Yeah.
matrix.
Yeah, we could, if you can stop, we could put him there. I think that would work.
Would you like to?
Oh, what's that?
Officially?
We're just thinking of stopping right above where we are now.
Okay, I can hold here with the ship or continue?
We've gone past it. Continue.
Glass sponge sample earlier.
Okay, there's a little depression here.
Yeah, it's got
Not that big.
5 things to put out, so it's a bit
okay.
of an area we need to make.
All right, understood.
5 things in a marker, and we don't want them touching.
Roger.
Well, it's quite a spectacular outcrop we've got here with...
Yeah, kind of a ridge of the rocks going up here.
Yeah,
A bunch of them covered in the Acanthogorgia.
And the crusts on the rock are amazing too.
Kind of see those shiny sides of the rock.
It's beautiful.
Another one of those stalked white sponges, right? A little bit different.
Steve, if you're watching, have you gotten a look at this, what we're calling a stalked white sponge? What is that tube-like white
Steve
sponge?
was saying he saw a small Swiftia species fan
There's a coral
on
back
the
in
far
the
right.
background.
That the one we just passed was a sea cucumber, I think.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
How about
Is this one of the
how about
Paragorgias coming up, Steve?
this pinkish?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It could be either that or a coralliid, a precious coral.
Is that of interest to zoom in?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Snap zoom
Yes,
there,
please.
please.
Oh, very cool.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is a hemicorallium precious coral. They're very fragile, and there's a certain species in the Mediterranean called Corallium rubrum that's been used for jewelry and fished for jewelry in the past.
Oh,
Got it.
yeah.
Nice.
Full wide, please, Jonathan.
It's the bryozoan is there too.
Yeah.
Lots of colors.
There's a little bit more pittings here. That might be something to...
Yeah. I don't know how large of an array you need.
Well, let's...
We'll continue on.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
Roger that.
I'm going to continue with this 160.
Raj, thank you.
Bridge nav. meters, 160. Thank you.
We're getting a question from Crispin Little in the chat. Is this a surprising increase in epifaunal density and diversity for this low in oxygen zone?
We saw a similar thing yesterday with pretty low oxygen and quite a lot of filter feeders, and I can only think that we get a little more flow in this area, so these animals can feed and tolerate the lower oxygen, whereas down below, where the oxygen was better, they just weren't able to feed. But the biomass here is markedly more, but further deeper.
And depth's another variable, right?
Yeah.
As we got
Yeah, some
shallower, the
Yeah, there are new things appearing now that we didn't see at all in the deeper water.
Exactly.
Some of the sponges.
So as I understand it, Q is where there was a sample from an MBARI cruise.
A sample?
I think there is some rocks sampled there by MBARI.
Oh, a Dave Clegg sampling site. There's
That's
another
why
kind of sponge.
That looks like another different kind of sponge.
Can we get a zoom on that? Oh, we passed
Too
it.
late.
It's
Oh,
okay.
sorry.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm a little.
There's another one coming up straight ahead.
Roger that.
Can do that one.
Is that a big
What type
anemone?
of sponge?
Orange anemone.
Yeah,
Wow.
there's a big cup sponge behind that.
Just at the top
Big
part of the frame,
Oh,
I
Raj.
believe.
Wow.
The one up here that looks like
yeah.
ears?
There
Yeah,
it is.
elephant ears.
Yeah.
Raj.
Oh, Do you want to
With
put it
that.
out here, Greg?
Go ahead, Jonathan. Thank you.
I think it's the one you sampled before.
Is it? Yeah, it looks, you're right.
Beautiful zoom. Very cool.
Come a little wide and frame it up, please.
Or is it different?
Looks similar.
Yeah.
And this is called a cup sponge?
I'm not sure if we have an ID on this sponge yet.
Yeah, we don't have any real sponge experts with us, and none of the sponge experts are helping us.
A little wide, please, Jonathan.
Okay, we can continue, please.
Full wide.
Steve's saying that the small white octocoral fans to the left are primnoids, possibly Parastanella. So those are probably
What about
where
these
one of the
whips?
fanned
Yeah,
ones.
what are the whips called, Steve? We're seeing quite a lot of them now. Is
Mushroom
that
coral as well?
the Narella primnoids?
Yeah.
Are these the stock sponges you guys were referring to earlier?
It's a sea whip. It's an octocoral.
But yes, the white branched is what we were curious about before. We're just passing over.
Raj. Go ahead and snap zoom, Jonathan. It's great.
Oh yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, the thin white stalks. Steve said with this type of zoom, he could possibly get an ID. It could be a type of the carnivorous sponges.
Wow.
Full wide.
So
Red
Steve's
whip.
confirming it looks like a Narella species, a primnoid.
Snap zoom there, please.
Which, this? The white?
Oh, I
Little-
believe the
little
last
wider.
one, the last stalked one. This one might be different. Whoa,
Wow, look at those polyps.
very cool. Couple brittle stars hiding out there. Those tubes are cool.
Kind of
Just a little wide and frame it
Another
up.
glass sponge, I assume.
It's great. All right. Full wide there, Jonathan.
Okay.
Thank you for that zoom.
Sure. To make up for it for driving past it before.
There's lots of them now, so it's really cool to see a bunch of them popping up.
Make up some ground now.
coming up.
One of those Paragorgia to the right.
If you take a quick look at high pack there, just kind of upslope, there's that greener bit, perhaps is flat. We could make a beeline to that, foregoing Q. Or we can keep on.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Yeah, the green area looks good.
Okay, roger that. We're changing course to 130.
130, Raj. Jonathan, are you full wide on Argus?
Bridge nav.
Okay, great, thank you. 130.
50 meters, bearing 130.
You want to keep this heading for a minute, Jake, while we swing?
Yeah.
All good.
Ooh, is that a hagfish?
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe another.
Couple of
Oh.
hagfish down there.
Oh, very cool. Some hagfish and some of those Other sea cucumbers.
Oh, these yet. Those cucumbers,
Sea cucumbers, yeah.
This
Beautiful.
another mushroom coral out off to the right.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
a bunch of little ones in there. See them, all the little pink.
Oh, very cool. Yes, yeah. Some of them with their polyps extended. Maybe
Yeah.
not. Beautiful.
All right, Jake, go ahead and come around to 130. The ship's starting its move. Thank you.
Big one in the background.
Ah, another mushroom coral.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, Acanthogorgia. Acanthogorgia.
Thanks, Jake.
So that glass sponge with all the numerous thin oscula, which I'm assuming were those kind of things that look like tubes, was in the family of the Tretodictidae, which is possibly the species or the genus Scleromopsis or Trecticum species. A little difficult for me to pronounce. Sound very cool. Had a really cool structure on that white sponge with the kind of tube towers or the thingin oscula. One thing that Steve wanted to know is that note that these gorgonians usually orient perpendicular to the current. And this indicates that there's a cross slope current. That's how they're going to be pulling out the tasty morsels of food that they would like to eat. So we're kind of seeing that as we're going over this ridge, and that they're all facing the same perpendicular direction, perpendicular to the current.
Steve, I've been seeing red stalks that look a bit like Swiftia, but then there was one when we did a snap zoom that looked a little bulbous. I was curious if that
No,
was
because we're just trying to find
not.
somewhere to stop.
Yeah, there's some Swiftia and Paragorgia here. Both the Paragorgia is quite small though.
Yeah, just a couple inches.
Steve, what was the genus on the precious coral?
That's Hemicorallium. I put it in the chat a while back.
Yeah, I was just not seeing it.
142. Will be flatter, but I don't know if it will be flat enough. But on our way to R will be flat.
Roger that. Thanks, Ernie.
Yep.
Wow, very cool. A rockfish just went out of view.
Got a hagfish to the right, or maybe a sea cucumber?
Yeah, it's a big sea cucumber. It's not a panicia, it's something else. We haven't sampled it.
Oh, it's a little bit different than the ones we were seeing on the previous dive. A couple more of those been popping up along here. Oh, another hagfish to the right.
Big one. Bridge, not. Add one more step, 50 meters, bearing 130.
that a tube worm?
A whip
It's
coral.
a big whip.
Yeah.
Whoa. Obviously very happy there, eating in the current.
Yeah.
Amazingly diverse section of
Mhm.
ocean floor. Wow.
Have you seen an oxygen change that kind of correlates with this?
Well, we're
Actually
pretty low
lower.
oxygen now.
Yeah,
Interesting.
a little bit lower. Oh, here
Oh my
comes a
goodness.
beautiful glass sponge.
It's
Something.
perfect.
Jonathan, you want to snap zoom
Yeah,
while they come
let's
into
get a
focus?
zoom on that.
Who's inside there?
Oh, little crab. Oh my goodness.
Couple of spider crabs.
Multiple of them?
Look at that structure.
It's a great place to be. Easy to hide from us.
Getting amazing images. Thank you.
Sure.
Really delicate latticing in there.
So we've still got 50 meters to go to that green area, is that right?
Probably closer to 100.
Come ahead, please.
100.
Let's start a transect,
Roger.
since it's not going to really change till we get there.
Roger that.
I'm good when you are.
Okay, that will be transect number 3.
Yeah, I'll just get a little ahead here.
Copy.
Did we start that, or I might have missed that?
Yeah,
We're starting it.
we can
Starting.
call it started now.
Okay, thank you.
Speed seems fine.
Okay, transect number 3.
Oh no. All right. I'll go smoother here.
If we do see a flattish area along the way, though, we would stop.
Copy.
Thanks.
Roger that.
I think just towards the end, when we're in that patch, we may hit slightly flatter, but there'll be more opportunity
Yeah.
to finish the transect, if need be.
Oh, we've gotten on the science track, Mary Wixton saying that the crabs in the sponge were Corellia long pipes, possibly a mating pair before we disturbed them. Very cool ID, thank you.
Ooh. More black rock.
Open the iris a little there, Jonathan.
Yeah, that's Swiftia, the
Yeah,
branching red
Swifty.
Wow.
coral. We're seeing more of the Swiftia.
You can see from the Argus cam, there's a lot of the white sponges dotting this whole area.
Yeah, look at that.
Very different transect from our earlier transects today.
It's definitely a vertical transect.
That too.
Yeah, we're now at 740 meters, so we've come up very quickly in the last 30 minutes.
Oxygen still dropping.
Yeah, quickly. Oxygen's now nearly at 4 micromolars per liter. Which means there must be pretty good water flow across this axis to keep these animals going.
Bridge nav.
Yeah, Steve was saying we could definitely tell that by a lot of the positioning of a lot of these Acanthogorgia.
One more step, 50 meters, 130. Thank you.
That's a little ledge there, isn't it?
A little bit too small, Jessica.
Reg.
Hopefully we'll be nearly at the green.
Roger that. Yeah, looking at it now, it's sloped down too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to look up some of these genera, see what's known about them in terms of natural products.
Some of these anemones look like fireworks.
All the different colors we're seeing, for sure.
Mm. It's been about 50 meters horizontal distance, but 25 vertical.
Crispin Little just chimed in the chat and said, the fireworks are the Anthomastus heteropolypsis. Thanks, Crispin.
That's the
Which is
Anthomastus
an
mushroom coral, yeah.
So it used to be called Anthomastus. I think it's moved into that new genus name.
Hetero.
If we had a chance to zoom in on the tentacles, you'd see each would have 8. Each polyp would have 8, and they can pull the polyps in, and then they look like a ball.
Oh, I think that
Wow,
was
look at all these
stack
stalked
there.
ones.
The bubble gums? I don't
All
think those
different
are.
colors.
Oh, and there's an acesta clam.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Actually, the big clam there with the red mouth.
Uh-huh.
It's the first one of those we've seen.
That's cool.
They tolerate very low oxygen.
Ooh. They feed in similar ways, Greg. They're going to position themselves to filter feed, or?
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, I know we have another mission now, but it would be really nice to collect some of these branching
Yeah, no, I hope we can
octocorals.
deploy these pretty quickly and then get a chance to sample. We're nearly at this flattish area.
Okay.
Looks like we're gonna.
I hope they don't make us come up.
Hopefully in the flat area they'll be surrounded by some of these. We're definitely seeing them at the edges of some of these rocks.
Once we get to if it's a bit of a rim, it'll actually be very dense.
Yeah, a really good feeding location, kind of capturing anything tasty, morsels of food going by, just like that one right over our screen, right at that edge of the rock there.
Yep.
Beautiful.
We're going to dive here tomorrow too, so that's good.
Steve's chiming in that those look like Paragorgia, Yutlinix, Swiftia simplex. We're getting a question from Crispin Little. Are the white stick-like sponges the carnivorous species? I believe earlier in the chat, Steve had mentioned those could be the carnivorous, but I believe we needed a zoom to confirm what those species would be, but Steve might be the expert on those.
No, they weren't corals. They weren't carnivorous sponges. They were a gorgonian. He gave us the name of it. It started with N.
Narella, the
Yeah,
Narella
Narella.
species, the primnoids. Yeah. Okay, so not the carnivorous sponges. Those stalked white stick-like sponges.
Yeah, the
They would actually be
bubblegum primnoids, I think. Bridge nav.
Oh, here comes a really large sponge.
Wow.
Beautiful.
One more step, 50 meters, 130. Thank you. Oh, that was a really nice one.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
Transect.
This will be a very diverse transect to go over and quantify the different species and diversity and abundance of all the different organisms here. Can really tell us a lot about the different ecosystems that could be along the seamount.
There's one of those fireworks that the polyps are all retracted and it just looks like a ball. So that's the
pom-pom
heteropolypus. Yeah. And there's one where all the polyps are out.
Wow. Cool. Unbelievable.
This is our quote-unquote less steep slope, by the way.
Not working out for us very well.
But we could just continue on to R, where it will definitely be flatter.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that complex.
How are we going on the transect line?
We are almost complete.
Almost complete? Okay.
Yeah, another 10 meters.
Isn't this a bit of a depression here?
Yep. Yeah, it looks like a bit of a depression.
Could we settle in here? Can we stop?
Sure, can do. Bridge nav.
So that's the end of the
Hold
transect,
position.
correct?
Is that end of transect?
Yep.
Okay. Beautiful, thank you.
Call at the end then. It's roughly 95 meters. So
95 meters, okay.
I think. I can measure it in a second.
Thank you.
Yeah, Greg, we can sit down here and then see how much of a slope we have in this depression.
Yeah.
You can see also in Argus that it's pretty flat.
Yeah, I think this
that's
is
a bit further up.
We can, and if we get time, grab a few things. It's the first fish we've seen for a while.
Ah, yeah, kind of hiding in the rocks there. Might have
You full wide there, Jonathan?
woken it up.
Thanks. It looks relatively flat-ish. Yeah. Is this a good candidate spot for you, or do you want us to look a little further upslope?
I think it's good.
Roger that. I'll get a better parking spot.
Crispin's made the observation that we're landing in a sponge graveyard, as it looks like. Complete with that fish, some of the other creatures that we're seeing.
Is that an eel pout?
Or a snailfish?
Or, oh, that'd be cool if it was a snailfish.
Yeah, do you think that's pretty much flat right in front of you there, Jessica?
There's some topography to it, but I think it'll be flat enough.
Okay.
Hey, Rennie.
Yes.
And then go ahead and do me a favor. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Our little crab friend is no longer home. So what is the sequence that you would like these things out, or just anything?
Whatever's easiest for you. We have a marker in the front, forward by a box.
Roger that.
Toolbox. And then we have also the bone cage up front. And then the wood and the rock are in the starboard. 2 pieces of wood, 2 pieces of rock.
Roger that. We can start with the bucket since that's probably one of the more awkward things.
Yeah,
and
that'll
then,
give us an idea of how stable things are too.
Yeah. Note to self. 1 week in zip tie, 1 rubber band. Next time. So we can probably stash this guy over by where these squat lobsters are.
Or just like meal delivery.
Give them a meal.
I know.
Their lucky day.
This is DoorDash, correct?
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Underwater.
We're just gonna leave and they'll just be like, what was that?
Is this okay for you here there, Greg?
Yes, that looks good, thanks.
Is it protected by this rock below it too?
Want to let him take over?
Just gonna do a DVL reset.
Roger that, go ahead.
Okay, we'll get best positioning we can.
Is that happy there for you there, Greg?
Yeah, that looks great, thank you.
All right. You want to go ahead and bring up the starboard biocams there, please?
What am I labeling this?
We're calling it bone deployment. So there'll be, we're happy to switch out.
Bone deployment.
Thank you. So we're going to do up all the bone, wood, and the rock setups
all together,
here?
yeah. Well, no need to put them right next to each other. You can scatter them around a little bit.
Roger that. Right, go ahead,
Whatever
Jake.
you think is the most stable places.
Raj. I remember correctly, this is the label here. So this would be...
Yeah, is there a label ID for the target or?